Hello, this is Nick Davis. I am actually a realtor in the Tampa Bay area and videographer, photographer. We started doing videos and photos on our own listings and then have a small client base, mostly other realtors in our office. But we use Davinci Resolve Studio version, and a lot of people have been having problems, trying to do these trendy speed ramps and stuff like that. So I just wanted to put something together to show you a couple different ways that you can do the speed ramps. So I've got the same clips duplicated on my timeline. The first way that we're going to do it is just going to be using the keyframe in Davinci Resolve. Now, to be quite honest, this is probably, I've never used this method in any of my videos. So there's probably people out there who can do it better than I can, but this is the gist of how you do it. So you figure out where you want your speed ramp to start. So I'm going to move forward 60 frames because I'm on a 30 frame timeline. So I just hit the shift bar and my right arrow moved it over. And then I'm going to do Control R. I'm going to hit Control R to get the speed up. And I'm going to go add speed point. So my speed point's there. And I'm going to move forward 60 frames. 1, 2. And then I'm going to speed this up. All right. Then I'm going to go into my retime speed. I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to ease in, ease out. And then I'm going to stretch it. And I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to render it in place. All right. All right, so this is what we got. All right, not too fancy. Bring our second clip in and go to the end, and I'm going to go backwards 30, 60, add a speed point. And I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to ease it, and then I'm going to slow it down. Boom. And then I'm going to render it in place. Now on these, I definitely would tell you to add motion blur onto it. And again, like I said, I'm sure there's people out there who do this a lot better than I do because, like I said, I do not use this method at all. See, so I mean, to me, that looks horrible. But again, I don't use that method, so I'm probably not, it's not a good example. All right, so the next example is going to be using the time stretcher. All right, so you figure out your markers, 30, 60, 90. Okay, that's 90 frames. All right, so you create a fusion clip, go into fusion, hit the shift space bar, and then type in stretch, time stretcher. So that's 0 frames. Look over here. This will tell you how many frames the clip is. And you go to that next marker. So that's 89 frames. And I put this. And then I go to 602. Put the ramp in. Then I will recenter this. Go ahead and then highlight both the markers and hit S. Drag this second marker speed ramp as far down as you want. Go back into your edit. Now here's the key. You got to go one frame past. So I hit the right arrow, one frame past so I don't cut off that last one. And then I trim to the end. And this is what I wind up with. Oh, we're getting somewhere. All right, I'm gonna just grab my markers, 30, 60, 90 frames. Put that marker there and move this marker over. Create a fusion clip. Go into fusion. Shift spacebar. Go to the second marker, 90 frames. Total clip length is 413. Add the marker, 413. Recenter it. Highlight both. Hit S. Now this time I'm going to move this and adjust it because this is the start of the clip and I want it to be fast and slow down. Go back here, go one frame forward, shorten the end, render it. All right, let's go to a color tab, type in motion, add motion blur. We're going to go for better, and under advanced controls, somebody told me about maxing that out in both directions. So I do add the motion blur, better. You can see it, boom. Here we go. All right, still not so cool. So I'm going to duplicate these clips because the next method is still using the time stretcher, but adding a zoom transition on it. And it's from a guy on YouTube, Duoco Media, Duoco Media. You might see some videos of his in this. He sells the transitions. It's like $19 or $20. So first thing I do is do everything like I did. But when I get to the point where we're at right now, what I'll do is I'll turn this first clip into a compound clip. I go into Fusion. I go to my templates because that's where I have his transitions. Go to Duco Zoom In, and then you center it off, and you can see the curve. Okay. You want to find where your cursor is. So my cursor is right there. I highlight these, hold the Shift key, grab this little dot, and move it because that'll keep it holding it in place. And you bring it right to the marker. And then go ahead and render it. And so wind up with something like, oh, we're getting there. All right, grab the second clip. Same thing, create a compound clip. Go into Fusion. Go into Templates. Duoco Zoom In Part 2. Now this one, usually, here's where my cursor is. This one lined up perfectly, and it usually does. So I go ahead and render it. And this is what you wind up with. And if it goes too long or you need to adjust it, you can just trim it down. All right, I'm gonna bring this one in and this one. Okay, so this one is a plugin called Speed Ramper. A buddy of mine, Shay, created it. You might have seen some videos in here. It is a paid plugin. If you go to speedramper.com, you can see what the pricing is. Um, but great plugin, really, really fast. So first thing you do is you create a compound clip and you go into your metadata. And so it's 602 end frame. Go into your effects, you search, and he has them set up like F1 is for forward one, F2 forward two, reversing one, reversing two, which would be R1, R2. Then there's a side S for side one, side two. Then there's an M, which is middle, and then there's an MO, which is it starts fast, slows down, and then speeds up at the end. So he's got a lot of variations. So what we're looking for is we're looking for an F1, and we're going to scroll through, and you can see this is how many frames. And so we get here to the 600, okay? And you see, then we go to 633. So you see how my screen is black right there? Because it's too many frames. So whatever your number here is, you want to make sure your number here is lower. See how it shows you what it's going to look like? But I only want it for 90 frames. So I'm going to double click this one. It added it. I'm going to go forward 30, 60, 90. We're at the transition. Again, same thing. Click your right arrow one time. Go past it. And I'm going to cut this. Delete this or backspace it. Boom, don't need it. And let's see. Render. And this is, again, Speed Ramper. Boom. Okay. Go to the second one. Create a compound clip. We're at 413 frames. Go F2. 400, 433. So I'm going to use the 400. Go 90. 1, 2, 3. One frame. Shorten it. Render it. And as you can see, the Speed Ramper plugin is really, really fast. As far as it's got the least amount of steps, and you can get it done quickly, I should say. I'm sorry. And so this is the Speed Ramper. All right, so let's look at the three so far. Here's keyframes, which terrible to me. Never use that. Here's the time stretcher with some motion blur. Looks a little bit better. Here's the time stretcher with the Duoco zoom. Oh, we're starting to get somewhere. Here's Speed Ramper. Let's see. Let me show you that one again. Okay. And so now we're going to do one with this plugin called Speed Ramper Pro. Okay. This is also a paid plugin. So what you do is you have your clip. You can go back to your inspector. You're going to either create a compound clip or a fusion clip, whichever you want to do. You drag it onto it. You got these presets, okay, of different speed ramps. So two things that you have to do every single time. You have to turn off this timeline, because if you do not, it will show up in your final clip. So here's one that goes from slow to fast. So I'm going to select that one. And you can make adjustments to the curve. I find it a little too slow when you leave it at the default one. But this one, as you see, is maxed out. So that's cool. I want it to go as fast as I can. So the next thing you have to do is freeze it. Or let me see. I'm going to go 90 frames. 1, 2, 3. So I know where I want it to be. I'm going to freeze it. Let it happen. So now it's frozen. So when I make an adjustment, it brings me to there. All right. So let's go ahead and render it. All right. All right. So we got it. So then we bring our second one in. Fusion clip. Drop it on. This time I'm going to use number 2, which is from fast to slow. I'm going to turn off. I'm going to go 30, 60, 90. Get my cursor set where I need it to be. I'm going to freeze it. Boom. I'm going to render it. Okay. Now, I'm going to duplicate these 2 clips because I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to go ahead with Duoco. All right. So I'm going to come to the end of this first clip. Create a compound clip. Go into Fusion. Add it. Highlight both of them. Hold the shift bar. Move it. Render it. All right, grab my second clip. Compound clip. Duoco zoom in part 2. Like I said, that one usually lines up, no problem. Render it. Okay, there was another plugin that I purchased. Unfortunately, it was a waste of money. It crashed my computer. It takes forever to render things out, and so we're just not even going to go over it. So let's kind of look through here. So here's the keyframes. No go. Here's the time stretcher with some motion blur. Here's adding Duoco zoom on the time stretcher. Here's the Speed Ramper plugin. Here's Speed Ramp Pro. And here's Speed Ramp Pro with the Duoco zoom transitions. So several different options for you that you can use. Hopefully, you got some value out of this. If you got questions, comments, or even if there's, like I said, the keyframe thing is something I am not very familiar with. So I'm sure there's people out there who can do a whole hell of a lot better on the keyframes than I can. But typically, I'm using the time stretcher with Duoco Zoom or the Speed Ramper plugin. Those are my two go-to 99% of the time, because with the time stretcher, I can set it right to where I need to on the beats. And with the Speed Ramper, there is actually a way, I just didn't want to get into it today, but there is a way to edit them a little bit further. Shay, if you purchase the Speed Ramper plugin, he has, I can't even remember how many different tutorials on the portal when you purchase it that you could watch and see how to do it. But again, I use the time stretcher with the Duoco and the Speed Ramper plugin for my transitions. So hopefully you found this helpful. And again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment. I will respond, and have a great day.